Hey everyone, welcome back to AED Live. We are now sitting here with a new guest, as you can see. We have Tom Armitage.
Good job.
Oh, nailed it.
Good
Sorry,
job
we
on
were
the
struggling with the name there for a minute.
And he's with Sightseeker.
With Sightseeker. So tell us a little bit about Sightseeker and what you guys do.
And who you are.
So Sightseeker, we're a boutique digital marketing agency. We're based out of upstate New York, but we have some folks around the country working remote, just like a lot of digital companies these days. And what makes us different than other marketing agencies is our pure focus on lead generation and bottom line results. So you have a lot of agencies out there that, thank you, that are really focused on branding and creative, which is very important and very good and very much needed, especially for a lot of companies, startups, companies that need a reskin, a refresh. But there's so many other companies out there that really just need results. And if they're focusing on the wrong SEO, about 20 years ago, we were doing SEO and web development really before a lot of other companies got in the game. A lot of digital marketing agencies today were traditional ad agencies that kind of bridged the gap and found their way into the digital space. We were actually founded upon digital right in the early days of Google, before a lot of folks even understood SEO, understood pay-per-click advertising, and that was the bread and butter and the core services that we offered in the very beginning, was search engine optimization, web development, and pay-per-click advertising, specifically in Google Ads. And then we've eventually built that to be a full-service digital agency where we're now doing email marketing, automation, social ads, social media management, lead intelligence, reporting, analytics, and it's really a full suite of services that a company can benefit from. And we're helping companies where we're just acting as a consultant and an extension of their marketing team. They might have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 marketing employees, and we're really just complementing their program. Or we could be a total replacement where they don't have a marketing team and they're paying us to actually act on their behalf.
Yeah, interesting.
Now, Tom, how do you guys measure something like this? Obviously, there's no scale of what you guys do. So how do you go about and measure what you guys are doing and what works best for you?
Yeah, so there's this popular phrase that's becoming more trendy, and it's called the dark funnel, and that's the activities that are either really difficult or impossible to track.
Sounds dirty.
It does. the dark funnel. So an example of that would be this here today, right? You rub shoulders at an event like AED, you go out to dinner, you grab some drinks, and you start texting that person, and 3-4 months, maybe you're striking a deal with that person, right? They didn't go to the website, you've supplied them through text or through phone with the information that they needed, you became a business partner with that person, and none of it was able to be tracked digitally, right? So that's that dark funnel, and that you just need to accept the fact that there's going to be a piece of your marketing pie that represents that untrackable piece. But for everything else, which is going to be the large majority, it is trackable if you have the right tools and technology in your tech stack in order to capture that data. And that's going to start with website analytics, something like Google Analytics, heat mapping software like Hotjar. You got automation tools like HubSpot, Pardot, CRM tools like Salesforce. You have lead intelligence tools like Site Insights, and you put all of these together and you really have a solid structure of technology in place to be able to capture almost all interactions with your digital experience. And if you're tracking properly, you can measure that against the investment that you're putting into marketing and advertising in those activities and measure ROI.
So you could really start tracking where the profitability is coming down by what you guys are doing with all the research and the tactical strategies you guys go about.
The unfortunate thing is that a lot of companies, you have some companies that aren't willing to spend money, right? Those are the ones that are in the worst shape. Then you have some companies that are willing to spend but aren't tracking properly. And the worst part about that is they aren't able to make decisions as to where their dollars are having the biggest, are performing best and having the greatest return on that investment. So you really need both. You need to be willing to spend, you need to understand where you want to be spending best, and then you need to be able to track it so you can pivot, you can optimize, you can stop spending money in Amazon ads or in Bing ads and shift it over here to Spotify ads or Hulu ads. And whatever those decisions are, those decisions need to be drawn upon from the data that you're tracking.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you guys focus strictly on kind of the equipment industry, or are you guys in other industries as well?
So we're here today. This is our third time at AED Summit. This is the third time we're speaking at AED Summit. And we got involved in the heavy equipment industry because of a long-standing relationship that we've had with Mahita and the material handling world. So we have probably a 10, 12-year relationship with that association. We've done business with probably 50, 60, 70 forklift dealers and material handling dealerships. So it was a really natural progression to really begin working with, I like to call this industry their big brother, right? Because it's bigger tools, bigger tech, bigger equipment. And they have a lot of similarities in the structure of their organization, the structure of the industry, the way they sell their products, the margins on their products, and the type of marketing that they need.
Interesting.
So obviously here at the Summit, the bar is set pretty high. The competition is pretty intense. What excitement do you guys get coming here that people that aren't here attending that possibly need your service? Like, what's the excitement for someone like you to reach potential customers and putting out the knowledge that they don't hear? Like, what is the excitement here if you brush up against somebody and you say, hey, by the way, I'm Tom with Sightseeker? Like, what's that excitement?
I think there's two things that excite me most about dealing with companies that are in attendance here and are in this industry. One is there's still a lot of companies, especially on the dealership side, that are behind the times, 10, 15 years behind. I'm coming across websites that haven't been updated in a very long time, and their marketing programs are still functioning like it's 2005, 2010.
Yeah.
And it's sad for that they're still operating that way, but it excites me because I know that there's so much potential and so much opportunity as to us getting them up to speed with 2022 marketing and helping them, teach them about the software that might be here today or other software that's available today that really helps them up their game and get up to speed with the tools, technology, and the talent that they need to be putting forth in 2022 to be doing marketing and sales properly. The second is the margins on these type of products and this type of service they should be very healthy,
yes.
right? So
yes.
if we're selling a solution like lead intelligence, and we're selling we're trying to help companies understand that the work that we're doing, the service that we're providing, and the software that we're selling is able to help them get leads, as long as they have a good sales team, as long as they have a good customer service team, and they're able to convert those leads into deals, that's a lot of money, and that's going to be, they're going to be able to justify what they're spending on us much more easily, and that helps excite me because I can make that deal happen much more easily because they can envision how much money is available to them if they can convert 5-10 extra leads a month. That's big dollars.
So I don't come from the techie world. And I know this is
when it comes to tech, Rick is kind of a caveman.
Yeah,
I've been talking to him while we waited for you, so I got that. I already got that impression.
I'm like a baseball and hammer kind of guy. I'll fix your software. So being in the tech world, for someone like me, put in like layman's terms, what do you value a good product and bad product is a software? Not necessarily holding like the competition accountable, but being in the industry, what do you guys hold standards? Like what's good and what's bad software, and coming from like Sightseeker?
Yeah, so you need to look at the software to see how many leads it's generating. If it's a software that should be generating leads. If it's not generating leads, if it's generating bad leads, if it's generating bad traffic, then you got to get rid of it or you got to figure out what's wrong. The other side of it is adding efficiency. So you could have tools that are simply replacing manual work. Take like a CRM, for instance. There's probably companies out here right now that are still using Google Sheets and Microsoft Excel to manage their customers' contact information. Like, then you got Arrow sitting over there. I'm not sure what their price point is, but you need to look at that return on investment simply as how much labor is it saving?
Sure.
And is there profitability tied to that efficiency? And you have to look at it from both angles.
Now, in your guys' industry, with your guys, as we were talking previous, you guys are really geared into service side. So if I have a problem with the software, you guys get right down to the point and hammer it out and get us back up and running where it needs to be running.
Yeah, we're doing website development. We do website hosting. We resell. We have a number of software vendors that we resell and we work with, and we're certified partners of those software. So yeah, we're in the trenches. We're getting our hands dirty, and we're making sure that you are happy with the experience that you're getting out of those software. And then alternatively, we provide services in addition to those software that we're selling to make sure that we're helping you, teaching you, coaching you, or doing the work to carry out SEO, pay-per-click, social media, email, reporting, analytics, whatever that work might be.
So if I decide to engage with SiteSeeker, what's kind of your process if you come into a company? Kind of where do you start, and how does that path kind of develop over time?
Yeah, just like a normal software company, we're going to start with a discovery call. Let's take Bandit, for instance, is the first one that I'm seeing as I'm looking out here. I would try to understand what software they're currently using, what their marketing budget is, how many people on the marketing team, how many people on the sales team. What is the process like right now when somebody fills out a form on their website? Where does it go? Who's notified? Who acts upon it? How did they act upon it? Did they pick the phone and call? Did they got a quote? How long does it take for them to get in touch with that prospect that just submitted information? What are they currently doing from a marketing standpoint? Ads, SEO, are they blogging? Are they conducting social media? Who's conducting social media? So there's all these questions that we go through on that discovery call, and that helps us to understand what they're currently doing and where they might need help. On the follow-up calls, meetings numbers 2 and 3, we're trying to figure out what that custom-built program is going to look like. No client that we have, of the 55 clients that we have, no client has the same exact program from one to the next. They could be needing, $200,000 worth of marketing support. They could need just a $20,000 website, and they have the internal personnel to carry out marketing thereafter. So those next few meetings are really crucial to make sure that we're providing and crafting the right marketing program that's going to meet their needs best. And then they come on, we do onboarding, we make sure that for the next few weeks they understand the team, we get access to the back end of their website, their Facebook page, their Google ads, and we slowly are able to take over and really just inject ourselves into their marketing processes.
Yeah. So a final question for me, on previous conversations that we've had before going live here, we've talked about the term lead intelligence. What is lead intelligence?
Yeah, so lead intelligence. So you have a lot of web analytic tools out there. Most people are familiar with Google Analytics, right? So you install a little bit of code on the back end of your website, and you're going to be able to see very, very good information, but it's anonymous information, right? I can see that somebody has come to my site at 5 o'clock and they spent, 2 minutes on this page and then went to this page and then they left on this page. I can see my bounce rate, which means that they only viewed one page and then they left. So there's all this information that I can see inside of a tool like Google Analytics. Same thing with Facebook Insights in the back end of YouTube. A lead intelligence tool uses reverse IP lookup. So it uses the IP address, the business IP address, and it can match that against the database and tell us the actual company that came to a website and the lead source. So we can see that they came from Google Ads. We can see the pages that they viewed upon. We can see their industry, how large that company is. And what we're doing, what excites so many people out here as I look out, is this is used as a lead generation source, as a sales enablement tool. So that way, if you have a hungry, aggressive sales team, and I can say, these 50 companies came to your website this week.
Yeah.
Go get them.
Absolutely.
Go get them.
Tiger. You know who to target now.
You know who they are. They're warm leads. They're not just like cold calling lists. Like they might be interested. No, they are interested because they were on our site. They were on these 5 pages. They spent 20 minutes on this page. They were looking at pricing for this product or this piece of equipment.
Strike while the iron's hot.
That is a completely different amount of intel is what Google Analytics provides. So it's up and coming. We're really excited to be offering this type of solution, and it's such a perfect fit because if I'm offering it for X amount of dollars, and you close one extra deal a month at the margin that these guys have, you've paid. I have clients that paid for this software in the first week of using it. Like it's silly. It's silly how beneficial this tool can be if you have the right margins and you're using the data in the right way.
Yeah, interesting. Well, Tom, thanks for being on. We really appreciate your time. This has been a blast.
Yeah. Thanks
I got one more for you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. He's loading up.
He's like, hey.
Actually, I got 2 more for you real quick.
Yeah.
You guys are based out of where?
So we were founded in upstate New York. We have some team members in Charlotte, Atlanta, Vegas, and DC, but 7 or 8 of us are based out of upstate New York, Utica, New York.
And are you seeking clientele throughout the whole U.S. and abroad?
Yes. We bring on clients from all across the country. Actually, most of our clients aren't even from upstate New York. We have a handful of local ones just because we're there. We have a lot of connections, but most of them are in different parts of the country.
And obviously, there's a lot of technical companies out there. What sets you guys apart from the next company coming through?
Analytics. Everything that we do is tied to measurement and tied to analytics. And there's so many SEO fly-by-night companies that have probably pitched all these guys out here a million times. There's so many PPC companies that have, fly-by-night PPC companies that have pitched these guys a million times. We're so in tune with measurement. We have the tools to measure, and we're going to make sure that we're making decisions from that data. And that's what's going to separate us from the freelancer that hit you up, who works at Fiverr, who sent you a DM on Facebook yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, Tom, thank you for your time.
Yeah, appreciate the
This is
opportunity.
fun.
Guys.
Absolutely.
So, you guys stay tuned. We'll be back with some more.